CBS News has confirmed that former Vice President Mike Pence has been subpoenaed as part of the Justice Department's investigations into former President Trump.
The Justice Department contacted Pence in November to discuss Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including the January 6th attack on the Capitol. So we want to bring in CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roiphe now to talk a little bit more about this. Rebecca, it's good to see you. So, we just mentioned that the former vice president has already spoken. He's written a book in his memoir, So Help Me God. He talked about the moments when he was talking to Donald Trump on January 6th. Some of his aides have already testified. So why is this move particularly significant?
Well, I think it's significant for two main reasons. First of all, it shows that the special counsel is not solely focused on the documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago, but really is pursuing this question about January 6th and the pressure campaign regarding the electoral votes. So that's one thing. And then secondly, it really does show that this is pretty far along because, as you say, the special counsel can put together a lot of facts using staff and aides, and they would only subpoena Mike Pence at the end of their investigation. So I think we are moving toward a conclusion, and that doesn't necessarily mean that there will be an indictment. It just means that in terms of putting these puzzle pieces together, the special counsel is fairly close.
As Anne-Marie mentioned, Pence has already sort of spoke publicly about his experience of January 6th. What more do you think the special counsel is hoping to learn through this subpoena?
So, I think that the main thing that they would need from Pence himself is an understanding of the former president's state of mind, because the key and the hardest part of any potential criminal case would be proving the former president's intent. Did he intend to interfere with the operations of government, or were his intentions something else? And this is obviously a key witness, perhaps the most important witness, because we know that he had many interactions with him leading up to this moment, and that there was a lot of conflict. So in that conflict, what was the former president thinking? What was he wanting to do? And what were his intentions? And I think that would be key. And to get this testimony under oath and also push it further beyond what they already know.
As you know, others who have worked with the former president have tried to invoke executive privilege in order to avoid subpoenas and testifying in front of congressional committees and so on and so forth. It hasn't really worked, but we're talking about a former vice president here. Could this set up another sort of executive privilege battle?
It could. There are a couple of different possibilities. I think it is possible that the former vice president actually cooperates here, and that the subpoena is designed to make it look like, this wasn't a completely voluntary, cooperative endeavor, that he was essentially forced to do it, which he may want for political reasons. But, it is also possible that he intends to fight the subpoena. And if he intends to fight the subpoena, then, as you say, he would assert executive privilege, and it would end up being litigated in court. My guess is at the end of the day, he's going to lose that battle, but that could certainly create a lot of delay if he does end up, making that legal claim.
If we can, for a moment, Rebecca, talk about the politics of this, is it possible then that Pence asked for this subpoena?
Oh, entirely possible. So, it is not uncommon that a witness will do that. And, when you think about it, how did we all end up with this piece of information? My guess is that the special counsel is not, tipping his cards. So it's entirely possible that this is Pence's game, and that he wants the public to know that he received a subpoena so that he can make it clear that he wasn't just waltzing into that grand jury, or waltzing into the special counsel's office and telling him everything he knew. And given the fact that, he might be running for president, it is certainly possible that he doesn't want to alienate Trump supporters who he would need to build a coalition were he to win that nomination.
I wonder if there is more sort of political fallout, though, for him. And when it comes, if there's a possibility that he requested a subpoena, then is there also a possibility that this is sort of could be a negotiated presence, that he would say in exchange for a subpoena, I want to ensure that none of what I say goes public, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in much of a position to negotiate. So my guess is that, it's possible that he could negotiate something like that. But again, it's not, the special counsel has no interest at this point in anything becoming public. So I don't know that would be his negotiation. Maybe it would be something about what sorts of topics were covered. But again, my guess is that this is going forward one way or another. And either, it's just impossible to know at this point. Either he's sort of voluntarily doing it, but making it look as if he's, putting up a little bit of a fight, or this is really him digging in his heels. And I think we just have to wait and see, does he end up contesting the subpoena? Does he go into the grand jury, or does he negotiate a meeting, which is also entirely possible, that he doesn't go into the grand jury, but rather negotiates that he could come meet in the office of the special counsel with his lawyers present. So that might happen as well. And, we have to wait to see how it plays out.
Rebecca, does this increase the likelihood that we might actually see Donald Trump be subpoenaed?
I don't think we would end up seeing Donald Trump subpoenaed, but the one person who doesn't get subpoenaed tends to be the person who's the target of the investigation. Now, it's entirely possible. Look, it is possible that there is some other target. One possibility is John Eastman, who is the lawyer who spoke at that rally, who ended up giving Trump that legal theory that everybody has pointed out is completely illegitimate about his powers and Pence's powers in this situation. We know he's under investigation, so it could be that what the special counsel is doing here is building a case against John Eastman, but that's just not the way prosecutors normally work. They tend to try to get the most responsible individual, not somebody lower down. So, I guess it's a possibility. I just think it's pretty unlikely.
All right, Rebecca Roiphe, thank you.
Thanks so much.